Hey everybody, I'm excited to be introducing Module Five's film based on our PowerPoint on Black actors of the 1950s, 1960s. It's 1967's breakthrough and Oscar-winning film, Guess Who's Coming to Dinner? Really one of my favorite films, one that I've shown many times in previous classes. This film highlights, of course, some great actors, but we're highlighting also Sidney Poitier, who we talked about in the module. And he was really the most important of the actors that we talked about because he actually became a bona fide movie star. He was a box office success when his name was on the marquee or involved with a film. It meant a success for the film. He always played well spoken, intelligent, passionate characters. They were always professionals, doctors, businessmen, successful people. He gave America a realistic look of what it was like to be a black man at this time in America, where previous films prior to this, in the 40s, 30s, early 50s, gave these cliched, stereotypical portraits of diversity. And this is really important. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is one of the first commercial Hollywood films to look at an interracial relationship and marriage. And remember, historically, this is the same year, 1967, the breakthrough Loving versus Virginia Supreme Court case, knocking down laws banning interracial marriage. Because at this point, the year the film was released, many states still banned interracial marriage. That was changed after the Loving versus Virginia Supreme Court case. So this is an important film in 1967, really being culturally and socially significant. Guess Who's Coming to Dinner stars Sidney Poitier. He plays John, a successful and very well admired physician, and he meets this young white woman, Joanna, on a trip to Hawaii. Joanna is from a very well-to-do family in San Francisco, the Dreydens, Matt and Christina Drayden. Matt is a very successful newspaper man. His wife runs an art gallery. They've always raised Joey to be open-minded, liberal, and their liberal views are put to a test when Joanna not only meets John in Hawaii, but she falls in love with him and she comes back introducing him to her family. And her family at first are shocked because they don't expect that she's going to be bringing back a black man. So even though they've raised her to be liberal, they're kind of taken aghast at their own views when they realize it's happening in their own family. And that's kind of what starts this film. She brings him home. She does unexpectedly announce that she is going to marry him. He has to go abroad to Geneva to do some work as a doctor, and there's not a lot of time. They have to make up their mind actually that night because she's going to join him and marry him in Geneva so he can do his work there, and she's not going to give her family a lot of time. And that's what the screenplay sets up here. There is a small amount of time to make this decision whether the parents are going to approve the marriage, because she is unaware. John has told the parents unless they approve the marriage, he is not going to go forward with it. And so a bunch of feelings, relationships can really be tattered with this one night in this film. It's really an excellent film. What happens in the film is the mother, well played by the great actress Katharine Hepburn, warms to the relationship. She is caught up in it and starts to approve the relationship. The problem in the film, the conflict, is father, Matt, played by Spencer Tracy in his last role, likes John, respects him, but is worried that society isn't quite ready for this yet and what's going to happen to them as a couple. To make things even more conflicted, Joey invites John's parents from Los Angeles, his African-American parents, to come over for dinner so they can all talk about this upcoming marriage. And his parents also have concerns, especially John's father. So this turns into an evening of conflict, and what the screenplay really sets up really brilliantly in the film is that there's no reason to fault John. He's a successful doctor, he's well respected, he is intelligent, well spoken, kind. There's no reason to fault him except for the color of his skin, his race. And that's what this film really does really well at the subtext. Shows that there is still such a bias at this time against somebody because of their background, because of their race. And the film does this really well. The performances are terrific. Portier is great. He's got a scene later in the film with his father where he talks about being a man versus a black man that's just brilliant. Hepburn and Tracy made over 10 films together. They were a real life couple. They play off of each other very well. Katharine Hepburn actually won her second Oscar for this film. She's terrific. She's got so many great scenes. But what really gives this film a lot of poignancy is Spencer Tracy was very ill, dying when he made this film. He actually died 10 days after the film was completed. And you know that this couple knows that this is their last film together. So when they're talking about toward the end of the film being a loving couple, they're not really acting. It's a moment all too real. But watch this film, look at how it portrays race, how it portrays the subject of interracial marriage, the performances, and how it brings this important social, cultural topic of interracial marriage. 3 years after the Civil Rights Act is passed in 1964, now Hollywood's ready to talk about race. I hope you enjoy Guess Who's Coming to Dinner. It's one of my favorite films, and I think it brings up this very important social cause for the time in a very entertaining, well-acted way.